usual. This isn't business as usual. And that starts now with how we're approaching Black Ops 4 multiplayer universe. And who better to do that than Dan Bunting and Lord Vonderhaar.
I didn't think you'd say it. Oh, wait.
Hey. David, what are you doing?
I gotta update my Twitter name to Lord Vonderhaar. And done.
We gotta do the show, man.
Oh, shit.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for coming today. We are here so excited to tell you, finally, about this game that the team at Treyarch has been working on for the past few years. And for those of you who have not been with us for one of our past multiplayer reveals, we are going deep today. Before we tell you all about Black Ops 4 multiplayer, which is set in a narrative world between Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3, we're just going to show it to you.
Can I take this line? Do you mind?
All right, knock yourself out.
All right. Here is the worldwide reveal trailer for Call of Duty Black Ops 4 multiplayer.
Black Ops, weapons free. Let's do it live.
Guess who's back? It ain't a fucking question. They know the name out in the presence of a living legend. What you heard is murder, you will need protection. So blinded, couldn't see, so look at me until you give direction. You are now not in the presence of nice guys.
Bravo secure. Pushing, on me.
You are now not in the presence of nice guys.
Every shot counts.
Enemy strike team deployed.
You lack compassion, you ain't rap, you just a whack distraction. I can't relax, cause they'll imagine smashing Tony Braxton. Real sisters at the skitty crack.
Building barricade.
Had no hope, so I wrote this how I cope. I went home with no result, new approach, same truth. Just get ready, aim, shoot. They big bang, so they better bring troops because
Gunship overhead. Bringing down the hammer.
Copy that, 113.
I ain't gonna shoot one shot if you ain't ready to die. Never get it up, I got shooters for hire. Cause you don't want it.
Marking targets.
Better back the back, I'm done, so I ain't trying.
Sensor going live.
I know you heard me. Feel like I'm going crazy. It's murder, murder.
Heels coming.
Eat this!
You are now not in the presence of nice guys.
I lost count.
Feel that energy.
I lost count of how many times you killed me in that video.
So Black Ops 4 represents our most ambitious multiplayer to date. It delivers grounded combat, tight gunplay, an authentic military feel, and of course the fluid and responsive controls that you know and love, all wrapped in the most refined tactical team experience that we've ever delivered. It's a deeper and more rewarding experience that will be played for a long time to come.
All right,
Vonderhaar.
let's just get something out of the way. Are you guys ready? Yeah. Can you thrust jump? Can you wall run? Can you confirm we are 100% boots on the ground? Okay. Wow. Look, as we know, you love the fluid feel of Black Ops 3 combat, so the question that we always start with is, how do you create a more grounded and tactical experience, but do it without slowing down the player? So that's pretty easy, right? We didn't stop believing in
Guns up.
guns up. So in Black Ops 4, will you still move and interact with the world in a really fast and fluid way? And you can still keep your gun up while doing many of the other things in the game, like throwing grenades and using equipment, activating score streaks, and mantling. And what's better than doing all of those things while still being able to fire your gun? And it's doing this while firing your gun. Ruin returns, and this time he brought his special issue equipment, the grapple gun, that only he can equip and create a class. So Ruin is a specialist with those unique ability to close the gaps and get to the enemy faster. And the combos that you can pull off when you grapple to grab slam have been making the highlight reel inside the studio. And we can't wait to see just what you do with this. So specialists are back, both new and some familiar, but totally reimagined. Because each specialist brings special issue equipment that delivers unique capabilities to your team to reinforce the tactical gameplay without slowing down the player. And you'll hear about many of them throughout the discussion. But you would be fooling yourself if you thought that they were the main characters of this show.
That's right, because Black Ops is and always has been first and foremost about weapons and the gameplay around them. It's no different with Black Ops 4. However, with Black Ops 4, we've made more improvements to gun systems than literally the entirety of Black Ops 1, 2, and 3 combined. This just shows how serious we are about weapon systems at Treyarch. We've designed each weapon as though it's a character in and of itself, which means that we pay attention to every single detail. Hot barrels are going to ooze smoke. Muzzle flashes are going to burst and light up the room. Bullet impacts are massive and they connect the player with the game world around them. And weapons for the first time have real 3D tracers, which both look and feel incredibly awesome, but they also serve a gameplay purpose because they let you know where the gunfire is coming from. And animations have been overhauled to make that feel that you know and love that much more responsive. Bullets will actually deplete as you expend the magazine, but that's just the start. This is a small example of the details that we pay attention to our weapons. On the design front, Black Ops 4 is going to break with tradition by giving each weapon its own set of attachments. Now, in the past, attachment sets were shared across weapon classes. But this is important to us because unique attachments are all about making the gameplay of weapons and what makes each weapon stand out from each other. We're also bringing a new category of attachment this game. It's called operator mods. Operator mods are the ultimate expression of a gun's profile. It's going to expand its capabilities in ways that go beyond that core functionality. You're going to see here the Titan LMG laying down some heavy suppression fire. That suppressive effect is only capable through its operator mod. It's going to distort and disorient the enemy on the other side of it. Now, I'm excited to say that weapons are further defined by another first in franchise history today. I'm here to tell you, Black Ops 4 will be the first game in our history to use a true predictive recoil pattern system. This allows you to constantly make micro adjustments while aiming and shooting. This means that the gameplay of each weapon is learnable. There's a path to mastery that is rewarding for new players and veterans alike. This is by far our biggest investment in the weapons platform and combat systems that we've made to give you the most rewarding and visceral experience by pushing the state of the art on weapons visuals, animations, and sound effects.
Weapons and health are two sides of the same coin, and you can't change one without affecting the other. And Black Ops 4 adds some tactical depth through a change in the healing mechanic. Healing is no longer automatic. Now players manually trigger their healing process with a dedicated button, and that becomes as central to your gameplay loop as reloading the weapon after a firefight. And we like this change because it creates a tactical decision point that simply didn't exist before. So you can disengage from combat and heal up, or you can rush an unsuspecting opponent who may be healing herself. And these changes create a more tactical pace to the game, where instead of simply losing to the person who shoots first, you can actually survive a gunfight with smart maneuvering. And this means you spend more time in the part of the game that's the most fun, which is the combat. So aggressive players still feel rewarded for being aggressive. And tactical players can actually choose when to disengage and look for a better opportunity to strike. Our journey into the health mechanics has evolved and doesn't end just here. Let me introduce you to Crash. And Crash is a medic. And this means when his ability is ready to use, he can actually restore and give bonus health to players for a limited time. And Crash is just more than a medic. He also distributes a salt pack, which resupplies his team. And no doubt the folks at home are already breaking down that MP trailer, and they've already figured out what this one's like. So we've taken a completely fresh look at the health mechanics of a Black Ops multiplayer game to insert tactical decisions and some much needed pacing into that gameplay loop.
So far we've talked about some really fundamental building blocks of what multiplayer and what makes it awesome. You got movement, weapons, health systems. We're going to take it up a level to situational awareness. Situational awareness covers the gamut of what you see and hear in the game, from the minimap to the sounds that your footsteps make on different surfaces. We've experimented with all sorts of modifiers that have impacted this over the years, but in Black Ops 4 we embrace situational awareness as a fundamental feature to the game. We're introducing a new system called the Fog of War. And only the parts around on the minimap, the Fog of War reveals a radius around the player and his or her teammates. As you'd expect, enemy players are going to reveal their positions when firing a weapon unless they're suppressed, and many of your favorite score streaks like UAVs and counter UAVs are still going to do what you expect them to do. But what the Fog of War does is it creates more opportunities for teammates to communicate and work together for the win. Now I'm going to introduce you to another new specialist. His name is Recon. Recon is an expert in situational awareness. His special issue equipment is called the sensor dart. When he shoots the sensor dart into the world, it clears a large radius around it that both he and his teammates can see, and it helps you to locate enemies. He also has Vision Pulse, which makes a return from Black Ops 3, but this time around it's a little bit different. The whole team gets the benefit of it. So with effective usage, these mechanics together can be a clutch way to snag victory from the jaws of defeat. Situational awareness is as important to the gameplay loop as weapons, health, and movement. And as with the other fundamentals, we're giving you, the players, access to these tools to control your own gameplay loop.
The flow of combat is how movement and weapons and health and situational awareness all come together in the head-to-head gameplay. Spawning, pathing, level design, all of these things impact that flow. You might remember Seraph. She has a TAC deploy, and this is a team-wide spawn beacon that allows Seraph to command offensive control over that flow of combat for a period of time. And this is Torque. Torque is the master of disrupting that flow because he can lay down razor wire and create deployable and improvised cover with his barricade. And one last one. Over the years, we've experimented with the idea of area denial in various ways. And in Black Ops 4, it's time to stop playing around. Firebreak makes his return and makes area denial a part of that gameplay loop. His special issue gear, the reactor core, allows him to do just that. And Firebreak can even trade his own health to extend the clock on that time. So we've combined the best designs in how level spawning and flow control work together to influence the gameplay loop, and then we place those tools not in our hands, but into the hands of you through the specialists.
And the story of Black Ops 4 is not one of a single game in development, but rather the combined journey of the entire last decade of Black Ops. And you, the community, have been with us every step of that way. Every game that we make is an opportunity for us to do better, to continue the dialogue that we have with you, and you know that we listen. You expect that commitment from us, and this is why we do what we do. So I think we've covered all the details. We've pretty much given away the secret recipe to our multiplayer experience.
Are you sure about that?
What did I miss?
Just one little thing. Just want to tease for our competitive community, and that is the return of League Play. League Play is a fan favorite, and we've combined the very best parts of it, and we're going to deliver it for all the players of Black Ops 4.
As Mark mentioned in his opening remarks, we're doing some things a little bit differently this year, including how we tell stories in each mode throughout the game. Now we're delivering more narrative and character depth in multiplayer than ever before. And we're also going to give new and returning players the ability to learn and master each of these specialists in solo missions. These missions feature a series of fun and fast-paced trials that give a hands-on introduction to the new and returning specialists while exploring the stories behind their identities and their backgrounds inside of a Black Ops narrative. Now with each game, the Black Ops players have spent more and more time in multiplayer, and it's important to us that we go bigger on that experience and expand the narrative universe around it. Here is just a glimpse into that universe.
Not bad.
Not bad yourself.
No one gives a fuck about you. You're a number. An asset. A pawn in someone else's game. They've been manipulated. watching you. Exploiting you. And when they get what they want, they'll leave you for dead. So here's the deal. Alone, you can put up a fight. But together, you can start a war.